welcome to your daily Devo for Tuesday, May the 2nd. May the 2nd. We are taking our Holy Land trip via the writings of John A. Beck in the book we're using. Today we are directed to 1 Samuel 17. He shares verses 1 through 16 or points us to those verses and then 32 to 53. This is David going out to fight against Goliath. That's what 1 Samuel 17 is about. This is entitled, under Azekah, it says Tell Azekah, T-E-L. That's a way of saying we're traveling up to some ruins, some archaeological dig going on there. It's a hike from the parking lot to the top of Tel Azekah, but it's worth all the effort. For a commanding view of the battlefield on which David fought Goliath, a story that teaches a lesson on leadership. Alarm bells were sounding throughout Israel. We can hear them if we know how to listen with our eyes in the opening verses of this story. Perched here on the summit of Azekah, we can see how it all played out. To the west is the coastal plain, homeland of the Philistines. Along the eastern horizon are the central mountains that Israel called home. Between the two lies the Elah Valley, stretching from Azekah through Ephes Damim to Soko. And he references 1 Samuel 17, 1 through 3. With those directions. Water flowing west from the mountains to the Mediterranean Sea cut this serpentine valley through the foothills, creating an invasion path that led directly into the mountain interior Israel called home. The storyteller uses geography to paint a picture of the unfolding national emergency. The Philistine invaders have left the coast and captured nearly the entire length of the Elah Valley. Saul and the Israelite army, Saul was the king then, and the Israelite army are confined to the valley's far eastern side, literally pinned with their backs to the mountain wall. If they were to surrender any more ground, the Philistine invaders would have the run of the mountain interior. Then no Israelite and no place in Israel would be safe. This kind of national emergency calls for a strong leader. So all eyes in Israel turn to the current king, Saul. But for weeks he has failed to show leadership or inspire the courage indeed needed to drive the enemy from this critical real estate. Then David arrives, bringing with him all the leadership qualities that Saul lacks. David's willingness to fight Goliath shows courage. His choice of weapon demonstrates wisdom, and his words reveal his faith. Is this kind of leader born or made? David recognizes how the Lord has been carefully shaping him for this moment. In verse 37 of 1 Samuel 17, he says, "The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear shall rescue me from the hand of this Philistine." Every time a bear or lion had threatened the family's livestock, the Lord had used it to advance the character and the courage of this young man who would one day be Israel's second king. The Lord may be doing a similar thing for us today. As you and I confront unwanted challenges, He is instilling courage, growing wisdom, and maturing faith for a time when we too may be called on to lead in a crucial moment. You've probably heard that time and time again. Take the difficulties of life and look at them, especially if you're a believer, a follower of Jesus, look at them as training opportunities, learning opportunities, being fashioned, shaped into the image of Jesus Christ through these difficult times. Here's the questions for today. What life experiences has the Lord been using to shape your character for service in his kingdom? That's how we need to see these things. What life experiences has the Lord been using to shape your character for service in his kingdom? What leadership qualities has the Lord developed in you? And where do you see the opportunity to lead? The church needs those people, those who are looking for opportunities to serve and to lead, and not just be there for the show. The prayer for today, honestly, Lord, most days I don't feel much like a leader. Others seem better suited to that role than I do. Help me see more clearly the ways you have shaped my character for leadership, and point me to those places where you have prepared me to lead. Be open to the Lord's leading and guiding in your life every day, because that's what he does. Blessings.